Compañeros, ¿cómo estamos? Buenas tardes, buenos días todavía. ¿Cómo están? Aquí estamos con... Es un honor y placer estar con el señor Ray Alexander, una leyenda viviente. Am, También aquí estamos con mi amigo... Quiero dar gracias a mi amigo Brent Easterling, que me hizo el favor de conseguirme esta entrevista. Guys, I'm here with a living legend, Mr. Ray Alexander. I want to thank my friend Brent Easterling from L&L Game Farm who made this possible. Without him and his mom, it wouldn't have been possible. And here's a living legend, Mr. Ray Alexander. How are you, sir?
Good.
It's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you very much.
You are one of the living legends of cockfighting.
Thank you so much, sir.
Les comparto, compañeros, que por favor comenten y por favor comparten este video ahorita para que le llegue a más gente posible. Ray, where are you from, Ray?
I was raised in Birmingham, Alabama, Irondale, Alabama. I was raised poor, and anybody can be raised. We didn't have no running water, we didn't have no bathroom, we had nothing in our own home. And till I was a senior in high school.
Oh, wow.
And my daddy would come out of the war then, and he began to make a little money, and I went from there. And when I was at that chicken fight there, I'll show you the trophy in there. That boy found it for me. My wife threw it out there in a garbage can, and he was digging through some stuff and found it. Kelso Memorial, first time they ever had a memorial.
What year was that?
1954.
Wow. Where at?
Sunset, Louisiana.
Okay. You won that?
Yeah, I won it by myself, soloed it.
So what did you fight that? What did you fight in that time?
You know, I don't really know. I just know I was broke and didn't have much money, so I had to have somebody to put my money up.
Dice Eduardo que él nació en Alabama, que era muy pobre y que jugó un derby en 1954, el Memorial de Kelson, y lo ganó solo. Y que no tenía dinero para la entrada y alguien puso la entrada. So, how did... ¿Cómo fue que empezaste con los gallos? How did you start with roosters?
Well, my uncle used to like to fight roosters, and I would drive him in the woods and started fooling with them, and I got to liking them.
Dice que empezó con un tío de él, le gustaban los gallos de pelea y empezó a estar con su tío. So, when was the first time you actually held a rooster?
I was about 12 years old.
Le pregunto que cuándo fue la primera vez que tuvo un gallo. ¿Cuándo fue la primera vez que empezaste seriamente a criar gallos? So when did you start getting serious about raising chickens, or how did you get into that?
Well, I was in Harold Brown, dead now, but he. Somebody said that that's Harold Brown out there in the woods. He's out there looking for some chickens they stole from him. And so I said I'd go over and talk to him. I went over and talked to him. He said, he got to talk to me. He said, you want to go to a cockfight? I said, I'll take you.
Que una vez estaba en una jugada y que conoció, le dijeron que estaba Harold Brown ahí. Y se le arrimó y le preguntó que le gustaban los gallos y pues vamos para allá. So he took it to his farm?
He took me to his farm and took me out to the Biloxi, Mississippi, to a cockfight.
Okay.
And
You were 12 then?
I was about 12 years old.
Que conoció a Harold Brown cuando tenía 12 años. So he would be your mentor?
He knows more about chicken than anybody I ever know. Harold Brown did.
Dice que Harold Brown era uno de los gallos que sabía más de gallos que cualquier otra persona.
He just had one problem. He was so lazy to work.
Dice que el problema que tenía que era muy huevón.
But he knows chickens better than anybody. He taught me everything, and everything he taught me that you can't beat it. It's exactly the way he told me. He taught it.
Dice que él fue que le enseñó todo lo de los gallos. So what was your first line of chickens you had, sir? All your lines come from Harold Brown originally?
Come from Harold, 'cause I could get what I wanted from him, and he had top-notch chickens back then.
Dice que la mayoría de sus gallos originalmente llegaron de Harold Brown. So what were the first lines you had from Harold?
Hatches. He could get a chicken from Ted McLean. He got 3 cocks from Ted McLean. Nobody else could get a cock from Ted McLean back then.
Dice que él consiguió unos McLeans de Harold Brown que los agarró directamente de Ted McLean. Que en ese tiempo nadie podía agarrar los de McLean de Ted McLean. So he was good friends with Ted McLean?
He could get a chicken from him. He got 3 different cocks from him.
Okay.
And he could talk. He could make you think black is white.
Wow.
But that's just the type of person he was. But he knowed chickens.
You know chickens.
Yeah, he could do it, but he was so lazy he wouldn't do it.
Dice que era huevoncito, que sabía de gallos, pero era huevoncito. That was his downfall?
After the downfall, he hired me. I mean, I'd have to do all the work. He ain't gonna work in a pie factory. Harold wouldn't do nothing. But if he'd had, but Curtis Blackwell and him went in partners, and Curtis was right reverse.
Dice que Harold Brown se juntó con Curtis Blackwell y que Curtis Blackwell sí era muy trabajador. So that made a difference in that partnership?
Yeah, 'cause Curtis would work
Okay.
and do what Harold told him. But Curtis didn't know anything about chickens. He couldn't handle, he couldn't do nothing.
Que dice que Curtis era muy trabajador, pero no sabía nada de gallos. So Harold Brown had that nick of knowing chickens, right?
He knows chickens as good as anybody I ever been around. Still, what I do today is what he showed me the first time.
Oh, wow.
How to hold a rooster, and how to pit a rooster. I followed him all the way through.
Wow.
How to trim a rooster.
Dice que Harold Brown le enseñó todo lo que sabía, cómo agarrar un gallo, cómo cuidar un gallo, cómo entrenar un gallo, cómo reclutar un gallo. You've been all over the world, huh, Ray?
Yes.
Where have you been to? Where have you fought chickens at?
The Philippines was, this guy, Duke Halsey, worked for the man in the Philippines. And so he quit when this other guy took control over there, at Marcus. Well, that Harold had to just do whatever they told him then, because this guy was in charge of it in the Philippines. And so he wanted to find somebody over here that could win.
Who was that? The
George Arnetta.
Okay.
Was his name. He owns Arnetta Center.
Que Araneta le habló que quería gallos.
That's where they fight the Thriller Manila now.
Right, the slasher.
Yeah, that's the biggest fight in the world.
So when's the first time you went to the Philippines? ¿Cuándo fue la primera vez que fuiste a las Filipinas?
About 60-something.
En los 60 fue a las Filipinas.
They got me out there, and I had won several derbies in a row there, and so they got
How
me
many?
several in a row.
Okay.
So he told that boy to come over here and find the best chicken man over here.
Que la Araneta le preguntó a un amigo que le encontrara el mejor gallero de todos Estados Unidos and they came to you.
Yeah, they come to me, and so I said, well, at that time, the police come out to my house, and I thought they was trying to buy chickens, and I was trying to sell them some chickens, and so they invited me could they come in my house. I said, yeah, come on in. And when I got in there, they threw them badges on me. And
Bags?
They're badges. Police bags.
Yeah.
And they threw them bags on me and said, do you know this man? Well, there I am recording, talking to the mob people out there in Vegas. And
They thought they were mob people?
all the mob people, yeah, that's who I was talking to.
Okay. Here in the Philippines or?
In Vegas.
Oh, wait. So I lost you there. So you were in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, the mob people from there, but I'm talking to them on the phone because back then I was betting on football.
Aunque que dice que...
So I'm talking to all them people, and so they said, we don't want you. We want you to identify them voices. And I said, well, I'm not going to identify them voices.
Dice que uno tuvo un problema con la mafia que estaba pasando en juegos de fútbol y que llegó la policía con él y querían que él hablara, que quién eran las gentes en el teléfono.
So the mob people got word wind of that I wasn't going to talk.
Right.
And that's when I went to the Philippines, because they told me, invited me to come over, so I was going to get away from that. They said that they spun out of my drive, the police did, and said, we'll invite you, you'll be invited to Vegas, and you'll talk. We'll put you on the stand.
So you took off to Philippines.
I took off to the Philippines.
Dice que por eso se fue para las Filipinas porque la policía llegó a su casa preguntando por unos mafiosos porque él jugaba en los juegos de fútbol y querían que les ayudara con él y no quiso ayudarles y se fue para las Filipinas. That was the first time you went over there?
Yeah,
How'd you do?
won it.
You won the Derby.
One of the biggest derbies there was at that time. They
Que lo ganó el Derby, uno de los más grandes derbis que
they
había.
put me out there in the toughest competition right off the bat, and we come back. I won it by myself, and they said, Ray, you have put the Thunder back in the Thunderbird. He fought in the Thunderbird.
What year was that?
It was probably 60 something.
Que en el año 66 fue a las Filipinas y ganó el Derby más grande que allá con la competencia más dura. What'd you fight back then?
I can't remember. I think it was Roundheads.
Que jugó cabezas redondas. So you used to have the same roundheads you did 40, 50 years ago?
Yeah, I've had them Roundheads for all my life.
Que tiene esos roundheads de toda su vida. What are they?
Lacy Roundheads.
Son lazy roundheads.
Yeah, they were the best chickens they were, and that I know of at that time.
Dice que eran los mejores gallos cuando que he conocido. Smart, aggressive.
Well, in the meantime, Mr. Griffin told me, said, Ray, you have won this derby down here, and said you didn't have nothing, and it sort of hurt my feelings. And he said, we're too old, me and my brother. Said, if you'll train a show for us, we'll appreciate it.
Who was that?
Mr. Griffin.
Que el señor Griffin le pidió que le cuidara los gallos. And they were the roundheads?
They were the Clarets.
Okay.
So
Unos claretes.
I trained a show of roosters for him, and so he said, when you spar them, you let me know how they are. And I called him. I said, after I sparred them, I said, Mr. Griffin, we won't want to fight these chickens. These chickens ain't no count.
Dice que el Griffin le dio unos claretes para cuidarlos.
I really believed
Y
it.
que le preguntó, oye, pues tópalos y los cuídalos. Y le preguntó, ¿cómo van los gallos? No, pues con esos gallos no ganamos ni una. And then what happened?
We won it 8 straight.
Oh, you won the Derby with the Clarets.
With the Clarets, 8 straight.
Y que ganó 8
Well,
peleas al hilo.
they're counting the money up, and after so he said, what is it you don't like about my chickens now, Ray? I said, well, I still don't like them chickens. He said, what is it you don't like about them? I said, because we're always standing there, and the opponent's coming at us, and he shook me. He was old, but he could shake me. He shook me. He said, I don't want my rooster to rush into something he don't always rushing into it. Well, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So I Mac Ray, when they told me to come over here, well, I went to Mac Ray. He had some blacks that whooped everybody.
O sea, dice que los Clarets que ganaron el Derby 8 al hilo y le dijo Griffith, ¿por qué no le gustaron? Y dijo que
He knows
porque,
Mr. Griffin. Nobody could whoop him.
porque se mataba.
He won more derbies than anybody I ever seen.
And they stayed on the line all the time.
They wouldn't go in. They just wait one to come to them, and they'd kill him.
Que los gallos siempre se quedaban en la línea, nunca se iban al otro gallo. And you like that? You like the Russian kind of type of rooster, right? Back
I
then.
did. I like an aggressive type.
Not anymore.
No. That guy was there, and Duke and Richard Bates was in, and Joe Goode called me and said, look, said, they're not going to let you train no roosters out there. Said, the best chicken man in the world, they're working for you right now. They had sons to be shot by the firing squad. And, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, he was sentenced to be shot by the firing squad. And there's 2 of them. And there's a Keno, the other one, that come to be president later on. his wife did, killed him coming down there. And he said, how come George, I heard him tell him, and said, why they ain't killed him? And he said, he won't never kill him. He's too smart. He'll use him, and he'll let him come to America, and he'll teach school. So he started Harvard.
Oh, wow.
So that was the toughest school it was, and he was the teacher there. Esteem Paco, just what his name was, working for George at the White House,
Okay.
where George lived in. But he knows more about chicken than anybody I ever been around. And so he told me we're sparring some blacks.
Who was?
We sparring roosters that day. I had some blacks.
You had some blacks?
I got some from Mike Ray.
Okay.
And they whooped everybody in Hawaii and all. And
Que estaba un día, estaba topando unos prietos que eran muy ganadores de Ray.
that's what, but then we're sparring in blacks, so I'd see him tell them boys to take the rooster back and put him in place that there aren't no fat chickens there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the hell's going on. Them blacks whoop everybody in California.
The blacks?
The blacks.
And they were from you?
No, from William McRae. He
Eran de William McRae, sus prietos.
yeah, he was a hell of a chicken man.
Y que estaban ganando en todas partes, en California, en todas partes. And you got those too?
Yeah,
Back then?
I got them to take to the Philippines because I know them Clarence wasn't be no counting that long knife. I didn't know what a long knife was. Come in and sparring blacks against black, and they just sweeping the town out with people. So here they come two Clarence against each other. I said, oh God, they ain't gonna like this.
Que dice que los prietos topaban los prietos y se llevan uno contra uno y los claretes topó dos claretes y so you let them go and what happened?
Well, because they waited, and you try to hit him, he'd be gone, and he'd try to hit you, and you'd be gone. So they just couldn't hit each other.
Que nunca se pegaban los esos claretes.
And but I said, look, them blacks are the best chickens in the country. They whoop everybody in California and Hawaii and everywhere. He said, they might be pretty good rooster, Ray, but over here they won't.
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
And did you take them over there?
Yeah, I took 20.
And how'd you do with the blacks?
50%, like he told me.
Dice que los pretos eran muy encimosos y se iban. Aquí en Estados Unidos jugaban muy bien, pero en las Filipinas ganaron 50-50. And them Clarets were probably 90% winners, right?
He told me, he said, you'll win 95% with him, Claret. That's kind of, he couldn't hit each other.
So right now, in the actual day, do you like a Russian rooster or do you like a
I like the one that waits.
Le pregunto que si ahorita en el día actual que le gusta gallos que son encimosos o gallos que se esperan en la línea. Dice que gallos que se esperan en la línea.
The people in the Philippines know that. I didn't know that. I thought you wanted upside down shaking or that. And found out later they were right and I was wrong.
Wow. So right now, actual day right now, what kind of lines do you have, Mr. Ray?
Well, I got them Clarets.
The same Clarets you had back then?
I got them from Mr. Griffin because when he died right after we started fighting together, he died. And he could give me all his chickens.
Cuando se murió Griffith, le regaló todos los Clarets. What, just got the Clarets and that's it from him?
Yeah, that's all he had.
That's all he had?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They call them Griffin Clarets.
Que se llamaban Griffin Clarets. And you still got the same Clarets?
Yeah.
And they still the same way?
They won't go in.
Okay.
They'll wait for you.
Okay.
And we'd be fighting in the Philippines and we'd have to drop the rooster and nobody would go in. The opponent wouldn't go in either. He'd sit there and you had to pick him up and put him closer. And finally, he come and said, Ray, is your rooster going to go in? I said, no, mine. Going nowhere.
Dice que en las Filipinas se estaban los gallos y que se quedaban en las líneas y ahí se quedaban todos, hasta un buen rato. They come white leg? Your
Whites and yeah, they come yellow too.
Dice que vienen pata blanca y pata amarilla.
But those are the best chickens that's ever been in the world. Mr. Griffin knows more about chicken than anybody. Is that
Dice que han
right?
sido los mejores gallos en el mundo para él, esos claretes. You still got them, you still got them the same?
Yeah.
Que todavía tiene estos. How much do you sell a trio for right now?
I get $1,000 a trio.
Ahora, los venden $1,000 el trío. And cross stacks?
What's that now?
Cross stacks? Cross stacks?
Oh, I got them crossed around. It's like I had the rooster, Mr. Griffin's, and I kept waiting to find him, and so I finally decided to find him, and I went to Orlando. No, it's Lafayette, Sunset.
Okay.
So I took him down there. So they bet me a lot of money on that fight, and I couldn't cover it. Them people put him,
Que jugó un clarete allá en Sunset.
and we put him up. Finally, fought him. So they wanted to fight so much money I couldn't afford it. And when we turned him loose, that track just devoured him.
You find him in the spur?
Fought him in a spur.
Okay. Well, le voy a preguntar que de cuál arma le gusta más. When it was legal back here, or if you had a choice, what would you rather fight? Spur, short knife, or long knife?
It didn't matter. There ain't no difference in none of it, I think.
Que no hay diferencia en las armas.
A good rooster's good in any of it. I'd just take what I had.
Que un buen gallo puede jugar en cualquier arma para él.
Whatever they're gonna fight, I'd fight it too.
Now, Mr. Alexander, le voy a preguntar qué es mejor, la casta para él o el corte. What's more important to you, Mr. Alexander?
Cutting.
Cutting or gameness?
Cutting.
Corte, para él, el corte más importante.
If you can't cut, you can't win nothing, nowhere.
Que si no pueden cortar, no pueden ganar ni una parte.
And Griffin Sticken could cut. They'd have hit you one time, they'd kill you. So what that boy done, now listen to this. I'll tell you something, what happened, how stupid I was. So this boy they couldn't nobody in there speak English. I mean, everybody in there could speak English
Where, in Philippines?
in the Philippines when I was sparring the rooster. And so they're talking at the gala. And they come to approach me. I said, look, this is all the chickens I had when y'all called me to come over here. They said, no, you don't understand, right? I said, these are the kind of chickens we dream about.
Dice que fue a las Filipinas y que sacó los claretes y que los topaba y que ellos estaban empezando a hablar en filipino y Ray les dijo, ¿sabes qué? Pues una disculpa, esto es lo que yo tengo. Dijo, no, Ray, si es lo que queremos, como ellos que se queden en la línea, está perfecto. So they said, this is what we're dreaming about.
That's what they said, that's the kind of chickens we dream about. But he said, look, George is in the movie business, that we'll put it on the film, speed film, and slow it down, where you can see it.
Okay,
The fight actually go to dinner.
right.
So we went to dinner, and he put it on the speed film up there, and that Clark would hand that other a wing. He'd take it back, and that other would shake in front of him, and that Griffin would stop it. That Clark had it right on the killy every time.
Wow.
And I said, God damn, no wonder that man whooped me so many times. But you seen him fight.
Y
You
que
couldn't
claretes
whoop
estaban en la
him.
línea.
He wasn't more dirty than anybody.
The best chickens I know of as far as cutting.
Cut.
Are they the ones that
Same
your daddy has? Same clarets.
Griffin Claret, he got his from Blondie.
Yeah, I got him from Mr. Griffin. I worked for him.
Dice que el papá de Brent es los mismos clarets que tiene.
But I didn't think there was no count.
Because they stayed on the line.
Yeah, because they wouldn't go in.
Y cuando primero los ganaron, que dice que para él no servían porque se quedaban en la línea, but they were the best thing you had.
Well, I tell you, I met Jumper, and he had a big hatchcock, and we come in, and they're building them up. So he's picking mine. Mine's turning his head, and he's picking. He won't bill out. Mine won't. Jumper, he never bet over 100 in his life on a chicken. He went over and told his vet, said, Ray's chicken's fixing to run off. Said, bet me 1,000 on mine.
Dice que una vez estaba contra Jumper y fue una pelea contra él y estaban chillando el gallo y el clarete de Don Alexander no picaba y era la pelea contra Jumper y que Jumper nunca jugó una pelea más de $100 y que cuando vio ese Jumper, ese Jumper, dijo, ¿sabes qué? Juega $1,000 en la pelea. And what happened, sir?
Well, we turned him loose, and mine diced him and killed him. And Jumper about to have the heart attack out there. So I had to get Doc Robinson in there to control him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he done fainted. He done bet the $1,000. He ain't ready. I thought the rooster was going to run off. I done bet $1,000 on him.
He never bet down his
I
life.
said, that made it 6 times. I fought this rooster.
Dice que el gallo clarete de los esperó y se fue por un lado y que le dio un tiro. Y que Jumper casi le dio un ataque de corazón. Tuvo que entrar un doctor para que lo controlara.
He wasn't scared of that rooster. He just didn't want that rooster biting on him. And he's turned his head over, and he looked like he's fixing to run off. But when I turned him loose, that ocean come at him, and he diced him, and there he laid. And I got Doc Robinson in there to get him under control, because Jumper was a good guy, you know.
Yeah, he was a good breeder.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Que dice que Jumper era muy buen creador y muy buen hombre. Who do you look up to? I mean, back then.
Blondie.
Que le dije que quién fue su mentor. Le dije que Blondie Rollin. How come?
He learned from Mr. Griffin.
¿Qué le aprendió de Griffith?
Joe Gould, they sent Paul Gould, sent Joe Gould down to Blondie's to learn.
Que mandaron a Joe Good con Blondie a aprender cómo how to raise chickens and
And everything, just stay down there. Paul Gould had a lot of money.
okay.
So he sent his brother down there,
Joe Good.
Joe Gould. And so Joe Gould come back, hell, you couldn't whoop Joe Gould after that. He had them graves, and he whooped everybody.
Dije que Joe Good ganaba mucho con el Grace. I got a question. You have ACOs too, right?
Yeah.
Le pregunto que si tiene ACOs y de dónde son. Where they come from? Bowles? Bobby Bowles?
Bobby Bowles.
Because there's an old rumor. I mean, everybody has a story on. Le digo que todo el mundo tiene esa historia en el internet que Bobby Bowles a nadie dejó de tener gallos. Ahora te la voy a preguntar a él. Everybody says that Bobby Bowles never sold any chickens to anybody.
No, he wouldn't sell chicken to nobody.
But you got him?
No, not direct. This guy worked with Bobby Bowles. They fought together. They moved around, and he would be with Bobby Bowles.
Okay.
Well, he called him and said, I want you to come out to my house and put all the chickens in the ground. We're going to kill them all.
Who Bobby said that?
That's what he told
Dice
him.
que él era amigo de un amigo de Bobby que jugaban juntos y que le hablaron que a ese señor que fuera a la casa porque iban a matar todos los gallos y enterrarlos. So then what happened?
Well, he told him to come out there and they're going to kill them all.
Right.
So he said, now, while he was going through there, he said, now, if you want to take something home to play with, take it home with you.
Que le dijo a ese señor, what was his name? What was his name?
I'm not sure. I like to ask my friend.
Okay.
Because my friend called me and told me, he said, look, he didn't like ACLs. He hated them.
Bobby's friend?
Yeah, no. Harold Babcock,
Okay.
he picked from me a lot of times and stuff. So he told me, he said, come by and get these chickens. Said, I don't want them. Said, this guy's asked me to take them home. I said,
Oh, so Bobby's partner told him to go to the house and take whatever he wanted, right?
yeah, and
So he took him home.
he took them roosters home, a trio.
Okay.
And so Harold come by there, and that guy was trying to give them to Harold. He was sick.
Que el amigo de Bobby Bowles fue por unos gallos antes que Bobby Bowles mató todos los gallos y que se los dio a otro amigo. And that guy called you?
Yeah. And he wanted to know if I'd take them. And he said, I don't like ACLs. He said, I know you've had good luck with them ACLs. And I said, yeah, I'll take them.
Y dice que ese señor se los regaló he gave them to you?
He just gave them to me.
Do you know the story why Bobby Bowles killed everything?
Yeah.
Why did he
He
do
was
that?
sick, but he died right after that, too.
But he didn't want anybody to have the roosters? Or what?
He killed them all.
Why?
He was that type of person.
Le pregunté que por qué Bobby Bowles mató todos los gallos y dice que pues así era él, que no quiere que nadie los teniera. So the only person that's got those Bobby Bowles was that guy.
He got them. He
What, the partner?
took what he wanted. And I think he must have took the Gamersons to something was real game because I followed him down to his daddy's pit, and we won one and lost two. No, we lost one and won one, and then the guy was fighting for the money, and I met him with the other one, and he flattened me right off the bat. This guy was
Dice que
ready.
jugó dos asilos luego que uno lo ganó, uno perdió y que uno le sacaron las patas. And then,
He was going for 6 straight, and he was really fighting good. But he just right off the bat, he flattened me. But I didn't take the rooster out. I said, I'm just gonna see what he can, how game he can be. Shit, 10 minutes later, he's up done whooping that other's ass.
que 10 minutos así sin patas le ganó la pelea. And you saw, that's where you saw that real game.
I saw how game he was.
Somebody told Brett, who's that fight he fought against? That 5-hour fight? Or
You remember when we was at Sunset and Scott fought yours in the short knife?
Yeah, I thought
And that fight back there in the drag pen went for about 3.5
5 hours and 45 minutes.
que jugó una de 5 horas con 45 minutos en short en la mexicana.
Short knife.
What were you fighting that day? What kind of rooster was he?
It was a hatch rooster.
Un hatch. What kind of hatch?
It was something I got from Harold.
You still got him?
Yeah.
Que jugó un hatch y que duró 5 horas 45 minutos. You were there, Brent, right, for
I
that
was
fight?
standing at the drag pit watching Scott pit him. He didn't have no head left or nothing.
They asked where Scott was after the fight was over. I said, I'd look in the bathroom first.
Dice que pregunta, Scott estaba para él. Scott who? Scott here?
Scott did, yeah.
Scott toda esa pelea. So you were behind. Brent said you were behind 20-200, right?
Oh, yeah. The other guy was fighting damn good.
Que iba contra, estaba 20-100 a perder. So 5 hours and 45 minutes in the dry pit.
Yeah.
Que 5 horas 45 minutos en la.
That's against Sammy, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
in the short knife.
Yeah,
Against
the
Sammy
short knife.
Ramsey?
Yeah.
Sammy Farella. I mean, Sammy.
Ramsey.
Ramsey, era contra
Yeah.
Sammy Ramsey.
He knows about chickens. And he done right in reverse what most people do. He would, everybody would get there on the ground and me and Harold was walking around out there, and Harold said, well, that man won't want to fight. And I said, that damn man wins a lot of damn fights down here.
Who, Sammy, huh?
Sammy. And he'd haul them from North Carolina down there, and they was white-headed. But the next day, he come out and said, he won't look that way the next day. He started putting out water to them. We would get chickens dry as hell. And, a lot of moisture on them, and we'd dehydrate and dry them up.
Right?
But he's running it right reverse.
He can real wet and then try him out.
Right.
Que dice que estaba hablando de Sammy, cómo ganaba Davis, que ellos sacaban un gallo y luego le metían humedad y Sammy le metía mucha humedad y le quitaba humedad. So which way do you think is the best way?
You can't go against the Sammy, can you?
It's hard.
Dice que para él es
That some days he
mejor
could-
meterle
he's
humedad
tough.
y luego sacarle la humedad, que para él es
He'd
mejor.
be right in the money every time.
He dominated Sunset for a long time.
Yeah, he was the best chicken man that I'd ever seen. He took me in there, and somebody was telling me how he cheats people, and I said, I don't believe that.
Y que mucha gente hablaba mal de él. You know what? It is so. That's in Spanish. Cuando andas arriba, todo el mundo habla mal de ti. When you're on top, everybody talks bad about you. You
That's
know?
what I'm talking about. I took up for him, you know, and he liked that. So Sammy did. He called me. He said, "I'll show you everything I do."
Que Sammy le enseñó muchas cosas también.
So he showed me how he done it,
Okay.
and I said, "Well, you do right reverse what people do."
So then he puts a lot moisture and then starts taking it out the last
When he
day.
gets there,
He
he
keeps them
starts
dry
dipping.
as a bone, and then he soaks them at the pit.
Yeah, they eat. If it starts raining, his chickens will be out in the
Y
rain.
empieza a llover ahí en Sunset. I remember you say that. Bueno, dicen que cuando empezaba a llover en Sunset, que todo el mundo metía los gallos y él los sacaba a la lluvia. That's true, Brent. When everybody at Sunset it starts raining, everybody start bringing the roosters in and he bring them out.
Yes.
Que él los sacaba a la lluvia, el Sammy.
You walk in his cock house, it's like a fog. You can't even see the keep stall.
Dice Brent que entrabas a su gallera y estaba como un chico de humedad adentro.
He doing something right.
Que hace algo bien. So, Mr. Alexander, what lines do you use right now? What do you have the hatches?
I got the, well, I took that Claret Rooster. I told you, Mr. Griffin said I
Yes,
caught
sir.
at sunset. And I come home, and it's late in the year. It was in June. And I said, this rooster's so good. Everybody tried to buy him from him. I got to breed him to something.
Dice que le dijo a Griffith que ese Claret que jugó en Sansa que le dijo, este gallo es muy bueno para no meterle algo. And what did he say?
So I said, well, I got to breed him something. So I'm walking around looking and thinking. And I see my wife, I had some roundheads in it, and I told her if they go setting, put them out on short pins, small pins,
Okay.
on the grass. So she,
Que eran junio y que dijo, pues, hay que meterle algo y tenía unas gallinas cabeza redonda que se las metió. So then you got him to that roundhead?
I said, I'm going to breed him that roundhead and move him around every day and get the eggs off the ground.
Okay.
I must have won 30 or 40 straight fights with them.
Que dice que ganó 30, 40.
Just a lucky matey.
Eh?
couldn't get one whipped.
Wow. You still have that same cross?
Yeah.
Wow. Are they as good as that first cross?
Here's what I done. I seen that worked. So I started breeding a roundhead to the clarets and
Okay.
claret to the roundhead.
Que dice que le funcionó muy bien eso, que
Well,
empezó a echarle el clarete al roundhead y al revés también.
And where I could see that the roundhead's cock, you wouldn't get a few fights out of him because he'd go back in quick.
The roundhead.
Yeah, the roundhead.
Dice que con el roundhead eran muy encimosos y más podías ganar una vez nomás.
So the Griffin Claret, you could fight 7, 8 time winners out of
Que
it.
con los claretes lo puedes jugar 7, 8
Now,
veces.
when they cripple one, they're not going nowhere. They sit there and watch him die.
So how'd you fix that? You just added more claret blood to the cross, or?
And I just kept breeding the clarets. The Griffin roosters won't go in.
Okay.
So I just bred that and then bred as many of the roundheads. Because I could win the same amount of fights, but I'd get them crippled.
So how'd you cross the clarets then? Just pure? Fought them pure?
Well, you could find them pure.
But to... Le estoy preguntando que cómo usaron clarets, dice que con los cabezas redondas que le jugaban muy bien. But the half and halves were too aggressive too?
No, the half and half wasn't aggressive.
Oh, they were good?
They were all a claret rooster.
With the roundhead hens, right?
Roundhead hen.
The other way around, they were too aggressive.
You rush back in.
Dice que la cruza que les funcionaba mejor era el clarete gallo sobre las gallinas roundhead y que así salían más el papá. So you still have the same clarets right now?
Yeah, I got the same ones come from Mr. Griffin.
Oh, wow. And they're the same ones that your daddy's got,
Only
right, Brett?
difference is Big Jim got his from Blondie and he got his from Griffin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I got some from Blondie too along. Blondie knows more about chicken than anybody.
Yeah. That's
If I got in trouble about something, I'd ask Blondie.
Dice que cuando tenía problemas con algo o una pregunta le hablaba a Blondie. So you got the clarets, you got the roundheads or laciers, right?
At least, yeah.
Where'd they come from?
Carl Davis was a guy that was, Judge Lacey was a federal judge, and he couldn't go to the fights.
Dice que él los agarró de Carl Davis, los roundheads, que era que Lacey, Judge Lacey era un juez federal y no podía ir a las peleas. So then what happened then?
Well, Carl Davis would fight the roosters for Judge Lacey.
Okay.
And so Carl went and had them. But this Harold and them would, when I first started with Harold, they'd have them roundheads up there, and he'd tell how good them roundheads was. But at the last, they'd lose. They worked them, see. Too much, you can't work around.
Dice que no eran muy ganadores porque los trabajaba mucho, los roundheads.
They was working them all the time.
Right.
When Carl Davis got hired that Red Roland, you remember him? Boy named Red Roland, Indiana, he hired him, and he was lazy as hell. and he wouldn't work. So they one got the win.
Dice que se lo dieron a otra persona. Who was that person who was that person? What was his name again?
Carl, the
The
Red Roland.
Que se lo dieron a Red Roland para cuidarlos y que Roland era bien huevón, entonces, pero eso le benefició a los gallos eso porque los Roundheads de él, si los trabajas muchos, no sirven para nada. So because that helped him out for being lazy.
There's one like hell in.
Que ese sí ganaban ya entonces.
He started winning with them. But to start with, I mean, Curtis would work the shit out of them, and he'd wear them down at the last. Mr. Griffin, he wouldn't work no roosters.
Griffin Warren?
No.
Dice que Griffin no trabajaba los gallos. Now, when you say work the roosters, I mean, you know, fly the roosters.
I would tell you what he would do. He'd keep his rooster out there in the fly pens, Mr. Griffin, because I'd go in down there and picking up roosters and back and forth continuously. Because I'd watch everything he had down there. You couldn't get in his cock out.
Oh,
you couldn't get in Blondie's cock out.
Dice que Griffin no los trabajaba mucho y que
Blondie learned from Griffin.
right, que Blondie aprendió de Griffith, pero que eran muy secretivos. But they taught you everything. They wouldn't keep any secrets from you.
Do what now?
They wouldn't keep any secrets from you. They taught you everything.
No, they wasn't keeping no chickens from me.
No secrets from you. I mean, they taught you everything.
They tried. I learned from them the hard way.
Okay.
So I just observe, and they say, we're coming over here and we're going to have a party, and they said, we'll bring Ray with us if you don't care. I said, no, don't bring Ray, because he'll ask you too damn many questions.
Dice que tuvieron una fiesta una vez Roland y Griffith y que le dijeron, traemos a Ray. Y digo, no lo traigas porque es muy preguntón.
So he'll ask you too damn many questions. So I didn't get invited to go around there. But I'd see what they had in there around the thing. And Mr. Griffin, he'd take all the chucks out, and when he's going to fight the rooster, and he'd just let him sit up on the pole, and he just where he'd get them out. And so I said to myself, "My God, he must be right." And so I started doing that in the Philippines.
Just not working them at all.
No, I didn't work. Never worked with them, just sparring. And
Now,
working and bench working them all, kill a rooster.
dice que si lo trabajas mucho un gallo en la mesa lo matas. So you think rotating is better then?
You can move them around outside, it's all right. But you better not be working one in there.
Dice que lo mejor es
Especially that
rotar un
last
gallo.
week. Leave them out there for a week at least.
Y dice que lo mejor es dejarlos una semana afuera, más relajados. Do you believe in sparring?
Yeah.
How many times do you spar during a keep? When you
Well, spar 2 or 3 times.
during the keep?
Yeah.
So once a week?
Yeah.
Que él los topa una vez a la semana. Do you believe in sparring the same day, or you don't like to spar on the same day of the fight?
No, I spar them the day of the fight sometimes.
Dice que a veces también los topa el día de la
That don't
jugada.
hurt. That don't hurt one.
It actually helps him, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Y le digo que para mí les ayuda cuando los topan a mí.
Yeah, I just
El día
learned.
de la jugada.
Henry Wortham was the best chicken man in the country.
Who was?
Henry Wortham.
Que Henry Warren, que era también un buen gallero también.
He knows more about chicken than anybody living. His pool would bring 3 times as more as anybody else is there.
Que la gente siempre apostaba a sus gallos.
So Harold would lend me out to learn from him.
So Harold Brown would.
He let me go with Henry. He was old then and barely could get around. So he loaned me out to work for him.
Y lo mandó con él para que aprendiera.
And listen to this, he'd take his roosters out and he'd have me, said, you come up here about dark, we're going to go out there and you find me them orange trees out there and a roost to put them chickens on. So we'd mud them on. He said, they'd be here at 4 o'clock in the morning and we'll get them off. And that's what we done.
Okay.
Everybody else's roosters would be in them houses all that long and they'd be all to pieces. Henry's would be fresh. That's how you want all them fights.
Dice que tiene.
He had asked him to write the rules, and they never have been changed.
So how do you keep a rooster fresh? I don't understand that.
You put him out in the night air.
Dice que la primera gente los gallos los ponía en un cuarto para descansar los últimos días, que él los dejaba fuera en los voladeros. So you think it's better to rest a rooster outside in the night air than it is in a room?
Sure. It's better than them houses.
Dice que para él es mejor tener un gallo descansando afuera en un voladero que en un cuarto. Because he's fresh, right?
And he's fresh, and he's got that dew and that air on him all the time out there. And that's where Harold, first thing I know, he's got his out there at night, too, roosting.
A question, how many times did you go to the Philippines?
I stayed over there for about 6 7 years. My daughter, I got a daughter from the Philippines. I had her while I was over.
So you were busy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dice, le pregunté que cuándo vez fue a las Filipinas. Pues tengo una hija de allá.
But the Filipinos ain't nobody can ever go over. You hear the Americans talk this and that, but you don't never see none of them after the first day.
Dice que los filipinos,
They all get
que
their
todos van allá, todos los gringos van para las Filipinas a pensar que van a ganar, pero que nadie gana. They're tough, huh? They're good breeders and they're good
They're the
feeders.
best chicken people in the world.
Dice que los filipinos son los mejores galleros del mundo. Who's tough over there right now?
All of them Filipinos are tough.
Les voy a preguntar que por qué son tan duros los filipinos. Why are they so tough?
They just got more sense than we got. The first thing, they warm their rooster up. Well, if you go to thinking, a boxer warms up, he fights 3 minutes in the dressing room, shadow boxing. When he comes in the ring, he's already sweating. They don't fight him cold.
Dice que los filipinos, bueno, que en un
They're gonna
boxeador,
warm that rooster up.
but they warm for a while, huh? For
They
long.
warm, they get him hot. When they bring him in there, he's cold. He ain't not no moisture in him.
Dice que ellos lo chían mucho el gallo, o sea, antes de la pelea lo chían mucho porque dice como un boxeador que por 2 3 minutos antes de la pelea está practicando y ya entra al ring ya con un poquito de sudor. Que igual que los gallos también, los filipinos les gustan como chillar los gallos antes de entrar al anillo. I mean, they build him up, but they don't tire him out, right? Just
Yes, they warm him up.
Warm up.
They let him shadow box him around.
que más que lo chillan un poquito más antes de la.
Filipinos were gonna warm him up before they turn him loose.
And they're great breeders too, right?
They're the best of everything.
Que son los
They're
mejores
so
en
far
todo.
ahead of the American people. There's no contest.
Que están muy adelante de los
You will not.
gringos.
You hear the Americans talk. They do this wrong and they do that wrong, but after the first day, you get eliminated. You won't see no Americans there.
Dice que todos los gringos hablan mal, que hacen esto mal, aquello mal, pero que nunca llegan al final contra los filipinos. How about Mexico? You been to Mexico?
Yeah,
How many times?
several times.
Did you like Mexico?
Yeah,
The people?
yeah, I like the people.
Que le pregunto que si ha ido a México, y que sí muchas veces, que le pregunto que si le gusta a la gente, y digo que sí, que le gusta mucho a la gente. What do you think about the competition down there?
In Mexico,
Yes, sir.
they got some good roosters down there too.
Que también tienen buenos
They've
gallos.
gotten good too.
Que también hemos mejorado también mucho los mexicanos también. Muy bueno.
But they warm their roosters up too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So besides the clarets, the roundheads, what else do you have, sir? And the Bobby Bowls, right?
I got them Bobby Bowls because every time I fight one, he didn't look good winning, but he'd win.
Dice que los Bobby Bowls, cuando ganaban, no ganaban impresionante, pero ganaban.
And they're not aggressive roosters, you know. They
Que
just,
son muy listos.
you can just put them. You could put Bobby Bowls. You could put 4, and when he put his roosters out, he put 4 in the corner, and because they ain't going nowhere.
You put them all together?
He'd put it one in this corner and one in that corner, and they stay there.
Dice que los Bobby Bowls los ponían en un cuarto, los 4 gallos, y que se quedaban en cada quien en su esquina, que no se. Somebody told me a story about Jumper where he fought a derby, he won the derby, and after the derby, all 4 fighters were eating from the same plate.
Probably. Jumper got pretty good there at the last. He was like me. I thought I knowed every damn thing, didn't know shit.
Dice que Jumper al final también se hizo muy buen gallero, que está como relacionando que pensaba que sabía todo y no sabía nada. So you never stop learning.
I always learn all my life, every day.
Y que siempre diario aprende algo diferente.
You got if you stop learning, you out of it.
Dice que si paras de aprender,
You learn
ya estás
something all
fuera
the
del negocio.
time.
That's where you at. That's where you got as far as you got.
Yeah. Now I got trophies in there, so damn many trophies you couldn't believe. I'll show you that trophy before you leave. I found it out there. It 74, I think it was.
What was that at? What was that?
Sunset.
Que ganó en 74.
That was the Kelso Memorial.
Did you win Cocker of the Year anytime in Sunset or no?
Oh, I won it several times, Cocker of the Year, and
Que
I
va-
won it all over the Kemper Marley.
Que varias veces ganó Gallero del Año en Sunset. Que
I won that derby 6 years in a row.
6 years in a row.
Yeah.
Which derby is that?
Kemper Marley, that was the biggest derby they had back then.
Que el derby Kemper Marley era el derby más grande en Sunset, right?
No, he was from Arizona.
But it was at Sunset, that Kemper Marley tribute,
No. Yeah, it was a Sunset.
que lo ganó 6 veces consecutivos que en ese tiempo.
But I learned every day of my life. When you get to where you can't learn no more, you had it. Somebody will get you.
Que dice que todos los días gana. O sea, todos los días aprende algo. I mean, that's why I hear your whole story, que toda tu historia es de aprender de diferentes personas. I hear your story and you know, you learn so much from each person you meet, right? I mean, because it's very humble the way you know talk about people, how you learn from everybody.
Yeah, you learn from everybody. You learn something. Somebody will have some sense. Even the water boy can teach you something sometimes.
Dice que hasta al más trabajo más bajo te puede enseñar
You
algo.
just gotta listen.
Más que tienes que aprender a escuchar.
And when you get to where you know everything, that's when you're gone.
Dice cuando uno piensa que sabe todo es cuando ya no sirve para nada una persona. That's very true, sir. That's very true.
I guarantee you this.
So you got the ACOs, the clarets, the roundheads. What else do you have, sir?
Well, Ted McLean, when I was up there the last time I had a lunch with him, well, his home was like a museum.
Dice que estaba con Ted McLean la última vez que lo vio, que su casa era como un museo de trophies, de trofeos.
Trophies and old made in England years and years ago. He was on the throne of England, Ted McLean. He married McLean.
Oh, okay. Que Ted McLean era.
But he was on the board. He could win the king.
Era uno de la familia royal de Inglaterra, Ted McLean.
And he was that type of guy. They had a picture of him in there, and he showed it to me. And you move right here and stand there and look at it, and there's two roosters squared off of each other.
Okay.
You move over here, and it's Lord Wellington and Napoleon sparred off. of each other.
Napoleon?
Yeah.
Que había un retrato de, bueno, una pintura de Napoleon jugando los gallos también. Napoleon Hill, Napoleon Bonaparte, right?
Yeah.
So you got your McLeans from him, from Tim McLean?
Ted McLean, yeah.
You still have the same McLeans?
Yeah.
Miss, is there a number where people can call you guys for stock?
For what?
For like foul, people can call a phone number?
Yeah, the one that you guys called earlier is the same.
You don't have a Facebook account?
What?
You don't have a Facebook account?
We do not.
You don't. What's that number, just so I can tell the people? Brett. Si alguien quiere algo de animales, pueden hablar con.
Ray's number or your
Well,
number?
I can give you both. My cell phone I could probably be my phone number probably a lot
Si
better.
alguien quiere animales, pueden hablar su teléfono. What's the number?
708
708
203
203
7530
75
es 0.
30. Ese es el teléfono de la hija de Ray, donde pueden cagar sementales y gallos. So you got, so you're talking about the Ted McLean, he got you the hatches,
Yeah, he was a genius.
que era un genio Ted McLean para criar.
And he told me, he said, Ray, he said, the best chicken man that I ever seen in my life of this boy who lived up in there where they lived. And he said, that guy can teach you something. So I never forgot it. I was watching him.
Who was that?
Ted McLean told me this boy knows
Right.
more about chickens. Said, I never seen nobody know much about chickens.
He was talking about you?
No, it's other boy.
Oh, the other boy. Okay.
So,
Que Ted McLean dijo que había un gallero que era muy bueno, que era muy listo. Entonces Ray Alexander fue con él para aprenderle.
I started watching him. And goddamn, he did know everything, more than anybody ever said. He went to all them derbies up north in Short Hills.
Okay.
And so I swore I started paying attention, and I said, shit, I don't get no rooster. If I get a rooster from anybody, it'll be him. And he told me, he said, you let him come on your place, you get the best one you got. If you let him on your place.
Dice que esa persona, si lo dejabas entrar a su gallera te decía cuál era el mejor gallo. How will he pick up the best rooster?
He got a knack for doing it.
Dice que más tenía el don para escoger los gallos.
So when I want to get tight for a brood cock, I call him.
Okay.
And I told him what Ted McLean told me, and he sends me a cock,
That boy?
that boy.
Que- que-
Every time I get one from him, it's ace.
Que le pidió un gallo. What was he, hatch?
He got every kind.
Okay.
What he's got right now that he uses more than anything, in Puerto Rico, they had this guy that fought up there in the north, and they said he's a speedy little feller. It was a Jap,
Okay.
come from Puerto Rico. And Ted McLean, he sliced some chicken he sent me, throw some black chickens. He said, now don't worry about him throwing a black.
Que el último gallo que le mandó Ted McLean también sacaba negros. Was he the hatch cock?
I told him I wanted to claret to freshen mine up.
Oh, but he threw out black, that claret?
He threw out blacks. He bred Judge Wilkerson. No, sometimes I can't think straight. But anyhow,
Yes.
You still have blacks or no?
I still got them chickens.
Blacks?
I tell you what, when he told me there's always black, there was some blacks coming on there. I said, well, let me spar that damn rooster. I sparred him right there. He tear a chicken all to pieces.
Dice que...
That Steve sent me. So I know.
Ready?
What he
She's on the phone now.
what did he say?
Because I messed your phone number and people are already calling for stock. People are already calling.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
It's an honor to be here, sir.
Yeah, I'll do everything in the world to help y'all out. But
No,
you
you know-
just got to know that you don't know everything.
Dice que lo que uno sabe es que uno no sabe nada. That's very humble from you. That you think that way. A lot of people think they know everything and they don't know crap.
They don't know nothing. They won't take. If you go to Blondie's house, you can't get in the house.
Where?
Blondie Rowlands. His house was so junked up, you couldn't put a rooster in
Is
the
he
house.
still alive?
No.
Oh,
He put his roosters out in a fly pen and a small pen, and he'd start resting them in them small pens. And that's where Blondie, he's trained. Everybody that didn't work chickens. I went out to Joe Good. He was unbeatable with him grazed at one time.
but he wouldn't broke him either.
We was out there and we was going to a big fight they had up here in Newport, Tennessee, where they had the biggest fight there was. And told my wife, well, we need to go out there and go through a keep with Joe Good.
Que una vez fue él y su esposa Can you pass me the Brett? Can you pass me the battery and the cable, please? Que fueron a Tennessee And who'd you go with to train roosters?
Joe Good.
Que fueron con Joe Good. Why'd you go with him? Because you know he was the best, or
No, I went, yeah, he whooped everybody.
que fue con Joe Good a enseñarse a entrenar gallos?
He know Joe Good. He would whoop everybody in graves.
Did he work him a lot or no?
Not a lick.
Dice que no lo trabajaba nada.
We'd out there and we'd stay drunk all the time. And I said, ain't we gonna
Dice que
bar
más-
them roosters or something, do something with them? And I'm trying to learn.
dice que
He wouldn't even take me around them. And we'd come up and feed in the afternoon. And then, I've been there, I said, he's putting me on.
dice que fue a él a
Like the
entrenarse.
roosters somewhere else, but I drove to meet him in Knoxville, and then we'd go out in Tennessee to that big derby. Shit, he just wanted 8 straight.
Dice que fue a
And
entrenar.
he'd go cut the feed on some of them he wouldn't. He'd pick them up. Oh, I hate to cut your feed. I won't cut it today.
Dice que fue a entrenar con Joe Good y que dije, pero más se pasaron borrachos todo el tiempo que nunca los trabajó. But they were probably really, really good roosters to win like that, right?
Oh, he wanted 8 straight. They was hell of a race.
Do you have grades?
Yeah.
You have the same Joe Good grades or?
No, they're not Joe Good grades, but I did have some. But mine could whoop his.
Oh,
Me and
wow.
Lonnie Harper would meet, and Blondie told me. Now I asked Blondie, "How do you learn so much?" Baby was his name. He died, but he said I learned it from Baby.
Okay.
And
I got a question. What kind of grades do you have?
they come from Steve. I told you I don't have to get my chicken from nobody but Steve.
So you don't, what kind of grades are your grades?
Whatever Harry Parr had,
Okay. They come straight home?
yeah.
And what do you like about your grades? Estoy hablando de los giros que se
They
vienen,
win.
que son ganadores, they're cutters.
Yeah, they did the cutters.
What's your, le voy a preguntar que cuáles son sus gallos más cortadores. Which are your most cutting roosters? Clarets, roundheads.
Clarence.
Que los clarets son los que cortan más de todos.
Mr. Griffin, that's all he wanted, a killing rooster. He wanted to kill that other one. Cutting rooster.
Dice que los
That's
mejores
what I
gallos
like
de él
that
y los
at.
mejores gallos de Griffith eran los claretes. And you still have them solid? They come yellow leg and white leg, yours do?
Yeah, Mr. Griffin did because, see, he didn't get, when I was at Huntsville, and John O'Fowler and I went in partners because I had a stag from Harold. I kept running to let me fight that stag. No, I don't fight him. And he finally called me up one day. He said, "You still got this one-eyed stag?" He gave me a one-eyed stag. And so I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, bring him up there." John O'Fowler bought that man out at one Sunset.
Okay.
And so I took it flat stag up there. And so John O said, "You lay me, this is a stag against that cock. You lay me 2-1 and I'll fight you." Well, he knocked the stag's eye out to fly.
Okay.
But the stag would run out and catch.
What was he?
Was just a hatch stag.
Hashtag.
And I took 3, rooster and whooped 3 of his.
Dice que
That the guy just won the derby. Or like,
were them hatchcocks?
no, they was grays that he,
Oh, the grays.
and that he won with. But I took that baby stag and we whooped 3 of his chickens with it.
Dice que los giros de él son muy buenos, que jugó unos pollos contra un partido muy grande y que los ganó. So how long have you had those grays for?
Joe Wood?
No, your grays. How long you had them for?
Oh, I got him from Harry Parr. He'd fight chickens up there. And so he kept on bragging on them hatches and all that. But I'd seen him fight a gray. And goddamn, I said, "Goddamn, you ought to be fighting them grays, not them."
Que los giros eran de un tío que se llama Parter, que estaba jugando los hatches y luego jugó un giro y que le dijo Ray Alexander que debía de estar jugando esos grays, esos giros más.
So I got to watching it. And where was I at? Let me think, go back to where I was at.
Them grays that you,
Did Joe Goose in?
yeah. No, the grays that you got from.
Oh, I got him from Harry Parr.
Parr, yeah.
He'd win with him grazing and just wipe a chicken out. I said, "That's what you need to be fighting." And so he said, "You want this rooster?" I said, "Yeah."
Y que el señor Parter le dio ese giro.
He gave them to me.
That's where you got your braids from?
That's when I got my braids.
They've been good to you.
Yes.
So once again, you have the roundheads, the clarets, which are your best cutting roosters, your ACOs, your grays, and what else do you have? That's it?
I got them hatches from Harold.
Y los hatches
Whatever Harold had, I could get it.
vienen directamente de Harold Brown. Él puede conseguir cualquier gallo que él quería con Harold Brown, que es uno de los creadores más famosos que ha habido en la historia de gallos. Guys, aquí estamos con el señor Ray Alexander. Es un honor, la verdad, estar aquí, la verdad. Yo siempre he soñado con estar aquí con este señor. Aquí vamos a continuar con la entrevista. Por favor, comparten la entrevista, comenten. Si no les contesto ahorita todos los saludos, después les contesto. Your trios are what, $1,000 your trios?
Yes.
Son $1,000 los tríos. También les quiero avisar que ahorita ya estamos buscando distribuidores, gente seria que quiera ganar dinero. Ya bajamos la compra mínima a 5 docenas para distribuidores, aquí en Estados Unidos también. Pues si gustan y les interesa mis productos, yo la verdad yo no cobro por las entrevistas, yo pago todos mis viáticos para venir con esta gente por el bien de ustedes y lo único que le pido que si pueden comprarme unas docenas o pueden usar mis productos, se lo agradece mucho. Aquí estamos para servirles, compañeros. Seguimos con la entrevista.
It's Jimmy Johnson.
Hey, he was a good chicken man. He's a good chicken man, Jimmy Johnson.
You know Jimmy
From
Johnson?
California, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's a good chicken man.
Okay, well, he come ask me, he said, I hear you've been doing good in the Philippines. Says, I got a trip over there. I said, why don't you give me some tips? I said, well, the first thing I'll tell you, Jimmy, you ain't gonna win.
Dijo le dijo, Jimmy Johnson es un creador y gallero de California que muy duro. Mi respeto para el señor Jimmy Johnson, que le preguntó a Ray, hoy voy para las Filipinas, ¿qué consejos me das? Y le digo, pues, el primer consejo que te doy es que no vas a ganar allá. So you told me you're not going to win over there?
No, I said, you ain't gonna win. He said, what the hell you mean I ain't gonna win? I whooped these Filipinos out here like I own them. I said, yeah, but them grape pickers. When you get over there, you're going to be up against doctors, lawyers, and emergency.
Dice que le dijo Ray a Jimmy Johnson, no vas a ganar allá. ¿Y por qué? Pues aquí en California los madreo cada rato. Sí, pero aquí son picadores de uvas. Y allá vas a jugar contra jueces y gobernadores y presidentes. It's true though.
Well, he come back, and I seen him at the Sunset the next fight. And I said, how'd you do, Jimmy? He said, God damn it. I didn't want to fight. He said, they whooped me so damn bad. I said, well, I told you wasn't going to win over there.
Dice, le pregunté que cuando fue a una estancia lo vio a Jimmy Johnson y le preguntó cómo le fue. Dijo, no, me pusieron una putiza, no gané ni una pelea.
You've been fighting them grape pickers out there, what they fight against. When you're out over there, they ain't up against no grape pickers.
They spend,
These breed people.
Ya, dice que le digo que allá los filipinos no les duele gastar en tener unos buenos gallos y tener todas sus cosas bien.
So I don't, now when I talk to a Filipino, I go to asking them questions.
Yeah.
Because they know.
Dice que también a los filipinos les gusta preguntar muchas preguntas porque ellos saben muchas cosas.
If Jimmy done whooping them grape pickers, he thought he was fighting whooping Filipinos.
Yeah. Dice que es muy diferente jugar contra un trabajador aquí en California que con un gobernador o un presidente allá en Filipinas porque tienen más dinero para comprar buenos animales y criarlos mejor y tener más selección.
Then people will show you how smart they are when you go to monkeying with them.
Yeah, it's an elite group, huh? The ones that are in the Philippines, the ones that win all the time. I mean, it's
Yeah, that's the league group. They just got a knack for it, and they can do it too.
Estamos hablando que los filipinos que tienen un don para los animales, para los gallos.
I learned more from the Filipinos than they ever learned from me.
Why do you think they do so well in breeding and feeding? And, I mean, what's their
They're so
secret?
dedicated.
Le estoy preguntando que por qué son tan exitosos los filipinos en jugar a los gallos y que son muy dedicados. Dedicated, what do you mean by dedicated? I mean,
They just day and night. That's all they got on their mind is cockfighting.
dice que todo el tiempo están pensando
And they
en...
get good at something. If you do that, you get it on your mind continuously.
Dice que cualquier cosa que tú tengas en tu mente lo haces muy bien. Cualquier cosa. It's like the law of attraction, you know, what you think about, you attract your life, you know?
Yes. So you better listen to people smarter than you are.
Dice que tienes que tienes que escuchar a la gente cuando te dan un consejo, escucharlo. Ray, do you regret anything in your life?
Well, I was raised as poor as a person could be raised, and
Dice, le digo que si...
I've done all right.
Okay. So you don't regret anything?
I don't regret nothing.
Le digo que si no tiene algo que hubieras hecho diferente, digo, pues mira, nací lo más pobre que se pueden hacer y he hecho bien mi vida. What's been your biggest triumph in life?
Chickens.
Digo que cuál ha sido su mejor triunfo en su vida y que los gallos.
I could always figure them out. See, where people make a mistake, they want to pick up, if you got a weightlifter, for example, can pick up all the iron and things and lift some weights, and
Right,
people think he's something.
right.
But he can't knock me down.
Dice que es como tener una persona que hace pesas. Se ve bien fuerte, pero contra él no pueden.
So you just go look around. Who does knock them people out? Those skinny guys.
Que dice que la gente delgada. So, you're a big Jim. He'll get the roots down real thin, right?
You what?
He'll get the roots down real thin.
But you look at the boxers. All them boxers. Sugar Ray Robinson
Yeah.
was 145 pounds, 6'2". Was known as the greatest fighter of all time.
You ask Ray, you fight a fat cleric, he's dead.
Yeah, you better not have one of them fat.
No.
Ma'am, could you write down the number on a piece of paper? That way, could people both numbers, please? And that way, I can put it on the.
If you look at any boxer out there that's good, like Muhammad Ali, his arms were 14 inches.
Okay. Y que ves un boxeador y se ve delgado el boxeador, o
It's
sea,
the speed. I tell you where it's at. It's the speed you
Que-
can put behind the punch.
que lo más importante es la rapidez atrás de un golpe. But for that speed, you need the wrist to be thin, right?
Fairly thin, like Sugar Ray Robinson. Well, all them fighters ever were.
So do you like I mean, when
No,
you say
no
when-
big arm,
when
big
you,
chest.
you say it when you say thin on a rooster, do you say like no fat, no gut fat, but you want a big chest or no, not a big
No,
chest?
they're not that. You don't want no big chest. All the boxers are skinny looking.
Dice que para él que un gallo
You won't find one
es tenerlo,
with no big chest.
tenerlo fino de cuerpo, o sea, sin mucho músculo. So you think a thinner rooster is better than a muscular rooster?
Well, Blondie fought him thin. He was tough as he was.
And then Filipinos too. I mean, los filipinos también los juegan los gallos muy
There ain't gonna be
delgados.
no fat on them. They're good. But you can learn things by observing and watching.
Dice que puede aprender mucho en ver un gallo, observarlo.
See, you can't take a sledgehammer and drive a nail with it. You take a 16-ounce hammer and sink a nail with it.
Thank you.
Just the speed you put behind the punch. One of them weightlifters throw it 300 miles an hour, and one of them skinny boxers throw the punch so damn fast it'll knock you out of there.
Dice que
It's speed you
lo
put
que importa
behind.
es la rapidez de un gallo. What about ASIO? ASIOs aren't very fast, are they? Or they are fast?
No, they can throw a punch pretty fast.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
So what matters, do you think, is the speed behind the punch instead of the power?
Oh, it's not the power. Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Dice que no tiene que ver nada el poder, lo que es la rapidez de lo que va atrás del golpe del gallo. So not a big chest.
No. Boxers don't have no big chest.
Dice que los boxeadores no tienen así
Skinny, they look skinny.
tan delgados, musculosos pero delgados. So muscular but trimmed, right?
Yeah, slim.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you got to think what's fighting out there.
Que tienes que comparar lo que está bien. So Brent, Christopher, Brent, Sammy, he fought him thin too. Did you ever few Sammy's roosters or no?
No, I ain't never been into that. Now, Big Jim probably did. You can ask him when we get back home. But Big
Okay.
Jim was friendly with everybody.
Big Jim knows a lot about chickens.
Yes, sir.
Guarantee you that.
I met him the other day. It was a pleasure to meet him too. He was a funny guy,
Yeah, he is.
funny as hell.
He is real funny.
I've been blessed, getting to know Brent and his family. They're good people.
Yeah,
They're pretty good breeders.
yeah.
Yeah,
They know chickens.
they know chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brent's kind of funny looking though, but he's a okay guy, right?
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
What do you think of him as a breeder?
They're good breeders.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Okay. They got your clarets too, right? I mean, well, they came from the same, region.
He knows what kind of chicken takes to win.
Guys, here's a number for the home number and cell phone number for Mr. Ray Alexander. If anybody wants any stock, there's his number. Aquí está el número de teléfono del señor Ray, casa y celular. Por favor, no hablen nomás para hablar de pollos, para hablar de gallos. Puras llamadas serias. Si van a hablar para preguntar 20,000 preguntas y no comprar, mejor no hablen. I'm telling everybody, only serious call. If they're going to call just to talk chickens for 3 hours and not buy anything, not to call. That's the number. That's the number for Mr. Alexander. Entonces, les pido de favor.
Hey, Sandra? See
What?
that? Would you give me that picture of I got hanging up in yonder
Okay.
of Sweater McGinnis and then get me that trophy. I want to show him the trophy I
I
won.
appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Hey, Hillbilly, can I borrow that phone?
Yeah.
Question, please.
Where you want it? Back to the one side?
Yeah, the questions. Gracias. Let's see.
Still, Billy, you better watch your mouth.
I'm gonna get shot out here in Alabama, yo le digo a Brent Hillbilly y él me dice.
I don't know exactly what.
Let's see. So your favorite family of all is your Clarets?
That's the family I'd go with. As the best I know.
Dice que su favorita
Mr.
línea.
Griffin knows more about chicken than I didn't think. I thought them chickens wasn't no count.
It was
I thought he just got looked out on me. He tapped me on the shoulder. He had me all the way, but I just looked at him.
Oh, that is not
He'd do the same thing next time.
Dice que Griffith sabía mucho, la verdad que. So, do your Clarets cross good with everything?
Yeah, cause they cut.
Dice que los Claretes cruzan con todo porque cortan mucho su número una cosa. But you can't find them fat though, huh? You can't find
No,
them
you
big.
can't find fat.
Dice que no lo puedes jugar gordos ni musculosos. Tiene que jugar los más delgados. What's your best cross?
Clay around here.
Que su mejor cruza son los Claret Roundheads. When
Oh, that's so.
that trophy is from, let's see, it says Kelso Memorial ACOG Derby won by Ray Alexander in 74. Este trofeo que le dieron a. Now, para los que no saben, Sunset era un palenque en Luisiana que iban todos los mejores gallegos del mundo y era un prestigio de jugar en Sunset. I'm telling you that, you know, going to Sunset and fight was a prestigious thing, you know.
Yeah, that
People
was the
would've-
biggest derby in the world at that time.
Dice que ese era el derby más grande del mundo en ese tiempo.
That was the Kelso Memorial. That's when he just died.
So you won it one time?
Oh, I just went down there at one time. And I
Que lo
won.
jugó esa vez, lo jugó una vez y lo ganó ese derby. But Sunset was like a prestigious, derby, right? It was more about prestige than it is about winning it, right?
Yeah, Sunset was a tough place to find.
Y que Sunset era de los más duros para jugar. How do you keep your lines fresh? Do you do inbreeding or line breeding?
Well, this guy, Ted McLean, I listened to this other guy. Whatever he told me to do, I'd do it. He said that's the best chicken me and he ever seen. And Ted McLean no chickens,
Okay.
and so I'd listen to what he said.
Le estoy preguntando que cómo es mejor cruzar hermanos con hermanos o cruzar papá. So do you think it's better to cross daddies with daughters and granddaughters or brother and sister or niece to
You
nephews?
can't inbreed.
You can't breed.
No, hell no.
Dice que no es bueno cruzar
That's one thing I know, not to inbreed.
So when you say inbreed, it's no sister to brother
Hell no.
and no father to daughter?
No way, no kin.
Okay, so you would do it by aunt and nephews and like that?
Just take another rooster and put in there.
Dice que él no cree en echarle la papá a la hija ni la nieta. How come? Well, how come you
I
don't?
don't know. I just know that it won't work.
Dice que no sabe
I
por
tried.
qué no funcionó muchas veces. Lo ha tratado muchas veces de ser inbreeding o
Now, do not inbreed them, no kind. But Blondie, when he was on his deathbed, and if I got in a tie, I'd ask Blondie questions, and he'd always give me the right answer. And I said, Blondie, how did Mr. Griffin win all them goddamn fights he won? And he pulled me down, he could just whisper, he's on his deathbed, and he could cut.
Dice que le preguntó a Blondie que cómo Griffith ganaba todas sus peleas y que era lo más, o sea, que por qué ganaba tantas peleas y que lo más importante era el corte. So no inbreeding at all.
No.
So just far away kin, right?
Yeah, far away kin.
Que sobrinos, o sea, pero que nada de gallo con hijas, ni hermano con, even brother or sister, big no, right?
No big no. That's inbreeding.
How do you pick a broodcock? Le pregunto cómo escoge un gallo, un semental, y ahorita también le voy a preguntar cómo escoge una gallina.
It's hard to say. You just got to pick what you think's the best, and most of it's accident.
Dice que cómo escoge un gallo para sementar, y que pues mira, pues, trata de escoger lo mejor que puedas y casi siempre va a ser un accidente cuando lo agarres bien. That's funny.
That's right. Anybody that says they know how to pick one, just going, well, hey, he's going to turn out they don't have food. You can't. You don't ever know.
Dice que nunca sabe si un semental va a funcionar o no. So, do you recommend fighting a broodcock?
Yeah, fight it. That's the way I tell.
Dice que lo mejor modo sería jugar a un semental. What about a hen?
Hello?
How do you pick a hen?
Hello? Yes.
You don't ever know. Nobody
Neither.
knows how to pick them, I don't think.
Dice que
You
no hay
got the
modo
wrong
de.
number, Sam.
So you just try to get the healthiest rooster or what?
You get to help is everything.
So health is the most important thing?
Most important.
Que lo más importante es la salud. So when you have sick roosters, like a sick, stag, what do you do with them?
Kill it.
Que cuando ve un pollo enfermo, ¿qué hace? Que lo mata.
You got to be healthy.
Que tiene que estar sano, que es lo más importante. Do you prefer, le voy a preguntar que si prefiere crear con pollos o con gallos machos o con gallinas o pollas. What do you recommend? A cock for breeding or stag for breeding?
Stag.
Que le recomienda más un pollo para criar que un gallo. Why is that?
Because all your good children come out of young people.
Que todos los mejores hijos.
Old people, so old looking people.
¿De what?
Old people, so old looking babies.
Dice que los mejores hijos salen cuando uno está joven. Igual con los gallos. So, hen, same thing?
Yeah,
Hen, the pullets are better than the hen?
yeah. The younger the better.
Que entre más joven el gallo o la
All your
gallina.
best children come out of them people. They're like that. They don't come out of nothing that's been selected.
Ok, dice que los mejores hijos salen cuando uno está joven. Let's see. So you only use your broodcock for 1 or 2 years, is it?
Well, if he's throwing good chickens, I might use him more. But if he's not throwing good chickens, get rid of him quickly.
Dice que un semental.
It's all an accident.
Dice que todo es un accidente, la verdad. So there's no formula, right?
Hell no.
No hay una fórmula, o sea, esto es un accidente. Me voy a burst your bubble, you know. Esto es un accidente cuando funciona una cruza. Que si el gallo le está dando buenos sementales, buenos pollos, pues si lo sigues, no. So let's say a rooster gives you really, really good sons out of him. How long would you use him for?
I'd use him to throwing bad chickens.
Que
And he'll go through them bad.
so a good rooster will throw a good
When he
rooster.
gets old, he ain't gonna produce good.
Dice que un semental puede que 1 año o 2 años te dé buenos pollos, pero que llega un momento que ya no te va a dar buenos pollos. So he'll throw bad ones at the end, right?
You want that?
He'll throw bad ones at the end.
Yeah.
Y ya al último ya no te va a dar buenos pollos como los primeros
All
años.
your best chickens are always made accidentally.
Que los mejores gallos siempre se hacen por accidentes. Wow.
Come from an accident.
So what's your favorite weapon? Long knife, short knife, or gaff?
I didn't care what you fought in when I was fighting. I was fighting whatever they had to fight.
Dice que le
Because
pregunta
I just bring the best I had. It ain't no difference in a long hill, short hill, or
And you fight them whatever.
whatever they fighting that day.
You didn't you didn't feed one different from another one.
No,
Le pregunto que si
they're
él,
the same.
que si cuidaba un gallo diferente para gaff o para navaja o para larga, y que no, que todos eran lo mismo. So, you're clear you can fight them in gaff, spur, long.
Anything. You can fight them for less than anything.
Okay.
So they're gonna cut.
How many chickens do you raise right now, sir?
I tried to raise. I had a man who was with me 25 years, and he had his foot operated on, and I lost him. So I ain't been able to get nobody to do what I want to do since then.
Okay.
I'm still looking for somebody. It's hard to find somebody.
For help?
Yeah,
Who helps you right now with the farm?
my daughter.
Le pregunto que quién ayuda ahorita con su ballera, dice que su hija le ayuda mucho. So your daughter's been, you know.
She's a Filipino. And she understands chickens a little bit.
Okay, good. Are you still married?
No, my wife died.
Your brother passed away?
Yeah, she passed away.
Okay.
I just got her.
Okay, good. ¿Qué más tiene allá su hija ahorita? Ya su esposa se falleció. So that trip in the Philippines turned out good then, huh?
No, it wasn't for me.
Okay. Well, you want to, I got a question. And I ask this question all the time to all the guys I interview. Do you think it's more, and I see this especially in California and Texas, and I find it's despicable. I mean, in my opinion, que le voy a preguntar que yo en California y en Texas veo que, y también en Sunset, en los lugares, en México también, que mucha gente vende peleas. Le voy a preguntar que si es correcto o no es correcto. I see this a lot in different places when it was legal. People buying and selling fights. Do you think that's more
That's
wrong?
bad. I never would fool with all that.
Do-
Everybody asked Harold Babcock. He used to go with me everywhere, and they asked, "What does Ray do?" Then he said, "He don't do nothing. He just gets there and he hands me the key and don't come back in just time to feed." Well, I'm trying to leave him alone and rest. You know what I'm trying to do, so I don't go around.
Dice que lo mejor es dejar a un gallo solo cuando
Fool with
está
him too
cazando.
much, that's bad.
Dice que si le haces mucho a los gallos también es malo también. Okay. So you think buying, throwing fights is wrong?
I do.
Dice que sí, que no es correcto comprar o vender una pelea. Any kind of advice you'd like to add on to for a beginner?
Just always seek knowledge.
Le pregunto que cuál es un consejo para un principiante. Dice que siempre buscar buenos consejos.
So you can always learn sometime from the water boy.
Dice que hasta del trabajo más bajo puedes aprender algo siempre.
You just got to learn who's making sense.
Okay. Learn from the best, right?
That's
That's
what you do.
que aprender de la gente que está ganando ahorita, aprende de ellos y pues siempre buscar consejos. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, Mr. Ray. It's been a great pleasure.
I'll be glad to help you in the way I can.
This is one of my bucket lists. You know, I really wanted to do this interview with you, and it's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you very much.
Compañeros, ya voy a terminar la entrevista. Muchas gracias por seguir mi página. Les repito, vamos a tener ya tenemos entrega inmediata ahorita. Estamos buscando distribuidores ya para que calen la nueva acero. Y les voy a repetir, si hay un que quiere hacer una competencia, les doy mucho. A ver si alguien se anima. Les doy mucho que mi aguanta más que cualquier otra. Compañeros, que Dios los bendiga y muchas gracias por seguirme. Recuerden, comparten el video y comenten, por favor. Comenten y compártenlo. Muchas gracias y que Dios los bendiga.